Today we will see about triggers. What is trigger? Types of trigger. What is DML trigger? Types of DML trigger. And in this video we will see about after trigger with example. How to create after trigger, how to execute the after trigger. Okay. So let's start. What is trigger? Trigger is a database object, like we create views, store procedure, tables. So same, it is a database object. Okay, and when you create this object, it has some set of SQL statement, like in store procedure. When you create a store procedure, we add some statement inside the store procedure and create the procedure, right? So like that, for trigger, it's a database object we create with a lot of statement, and it associated with a table, like every trigger associated with a table. Okay, and it executes automatically after specific event. Okay, so it's a database object which is associated with table, and it executes automatically after a specific event like insert, update, delete, drop, create, everything. Okay, so these are all different type of events. So types of trigger, there are three types of trigger. Okay, DML triggers, DDL triggers, logon triggers. DML trigger like insert, update, delete statement, right? So these are DML trigger. DDL trigger like create, drop, truncate. Okay, these are all DDL trigger. Logon trigger means at the time of login we create triggers, right? So these are logon trigger. So what is DML trigger? DML triggers are those which are executed automatically after the insert, update, delete statement, and it's of two types: after trigger, instead of trigger, after trigger. So here we will see today what is after trigger. So after trigger, it fires automatically after the insert, update, delete event. Okay, so now we will create one table, and in the table we will try to insert some data, update it and delete it. So whenever we perform this action, that time it will insert into another table, so that we will create one trigger. Whenever we insert something into the main table, the record will be inserted into the audit table. So like for example, uh, there is one shopping mart, right? We in the time of order, one ticket is generated, order ID is generated. So whenever something, uh, some status change, like ready to ship, awaiting from customers, right? So these are all different status. So whenever the status update, that time a trigger fire, and it save the detail into another log audit table. So for example, we will create one table first. So there is an employee table. Okay, so this is the employee table. Okay, already it is there. So what we will do, we will create another audit table. Select, I will create an audit table for employee. Create table, TVL employee audit. Okay, this is the table name. ID, int, identity. Okay, now I will insert all these columns: employee ID, int, employee name, gender, age, int, deputy ID, int. Okay, and I will add one more column, created date. So we will see at what time the record is updated. Okay, so this is the audit table. It is already there. Okay, let me okay. I created two tables. One is employee table, another is employee. Now I will try to insert into the employee table, and it will update into the. Now there is no data in this employee audit details, right? First, let's create a after trigger for insert. Okay, we will create three trigger here. After trigger for update, after trigger for delete. So how to create a after trigger? Create trigger. TR stands for trigger. So we will first we will add the on which table we are using trigger, DML employee, and here for insert. Okay, on which table? DML employee after insert as begin and insert into audit. Okay, select from insert. So what all we will select? So here we are inserting the record data into this employee audit table, and we can mention the employee columns name. Okay, so ID is auto generated, no need to insert. Okay, so we are inserting into this table and selecting from this inserted. What is this inserted table here? On the trigger context, there is one magic table like inserted and deleted. So whenever we insert something or update something in a table, that time the value come into this table. Whenever you delete something from a table, the data comes into the deleted table. So these are the magic table. We call it magic table in the trigger context. Okay, so now we can create this trigger. Okay, that trigger is now created. Now same, just I just copied it and I will create an update trigger for it. So for update on DML employee after update. Okay, so same, no need to change anything here. Just insert the data from the inserted column table and it will insert into this table. So create this. Okay, now this is created. Now for delete, so here we need to change after or delete on DML employee after delete and here we deleted. We need to select the deleted. Okay. So after delete, the data will come into this audit table. Okay. Now we created. So how can we see the triggers? How many triggers are created? So we can use C subjects where type equal to tr order by cr date descending. So you can see how many. See, there are a lot of trigger, and this is the 3 trigger we created today. Okay. Now we will check after inserting something into this table. See, we have this 2 table. Now I will insert something into this table. Insert into DBL employee values, employee ID. I can enter. Okay. Now in this employee table there is no data, right? So whenever I insert something into this table, see, I am inserting to this table, and this row it's inserted into 2 tables, right? 3 tables. So I think there was okay. See, these details are inserted into this audit details table. Now if we update something, actually there are 3 record insert, right? So one is inserted in this table, second is this table. I think there is one more table because there are already there were triggers. So let's remove the old triggers. So the trigger, let's just delete it. Drop. Drop. Now let's count it. Let's reinsert again. Okay, let's insert it. Okay, now 2 rows affected. One is into this table and second into this employee table. Okay, see, now you can see this one and this one. Okay, this when I insert into this employee table, that the record inserted into this audit table. Okay, so this is the function of trigger. Whenever you insert something into the main table, the details automatically inserted into the audit table. Okay, now we will update this statement. Update DBL employee set name equal to this, age equal to 34, where id employee id equal to 12. Okay, now we are updating the name and age, Raji. Okay, now let's update it. Okay, now 2 rows affected. Now again we will see these 2 tables. We will see the updated value here. See, now first we inserted 33. Now again the value is updated to 34 and the name is updated to Sanjeev. So we can keep track of the details, right? So previously it was Sanjeev and now it is Rajiv, and the age is also updated, and in the main table we can see Rajiv is updated and age is updated. Okay, this is the use of trigger. Now we delete the record from this DBL employee, where let's delete I think 11. 11 record. Let's delete this one. Okay. Okay. Delete from employee, DBL employee, where employee ID equal to 11. Okay. 2 rows affected. Now see, the 11 row employee ID with 11 is deleted from the employee table, but it's inserted into the audit table. Okay. So created this time and the record is inserted. So now in this video we saw how to create after trigger and what are the types of trigger: insert, update, delete. Insert after trigger, update after trigger, and delete after trigger. So this is how you can create trigger. Okay, this is very much useful. Thank you.